begin when we are nice and silent. It was a dark and snowy night at the Mountain View Inn. The old grandfather clock marked the passing of time with a slow tick-tock, tick-tock. Everyone in the lobby was waiting. The desk clerk, old Matt the handyman, Ryan Bramble, the son of the hotel's newest housekeeper, and Ralph the mouse, who lived under the grandfather clock. As the desk clerk dozed, Matt leaned against the wall to watch TV as Ryan sat on the floor with Ralph, watching and waiting for his mother to tell him to go to bed. Ralph couldn't wait for the adults to leave so he could bring out his motorcycle, his mouse-sized motorcycle. Now, Ralph was an unusual mouse, you see. Not only could he ride a motorcycle, but he could talk. Unfortunately, not everyone could understand Ralph. Those who could were lonely children who shared Ralph's interests in fast cars and motorcycles. Matt was the only adult who could understand him. Yes, sir, that mouse is a mouse in a million, he often told himself.
Come on, my dear, it's past your bedtime.
Oh, Mom, just let me watch the end of the program. I'll leave after the guests start to arrive.
At that moment, the rattle and crunch of a car with chains on its tires was heard. Ryan rose and walked backward out of the lobby so he wouldn't miss the high-speed chase on TV. As he left, he gave Ralph a little wave with his fingertips. Ralph scurried back to his nest under the clock. Beside his nest were his two precious possessions, a little red motorcycle and a crash helmet made from half a ping pong ball. Above Ralph, the clock began to grind and groan and strike. Bong, bong. Ralph dreaded the sound, but the noise terrified all his little relatives, which meant that his motorcycle was safe from their prying hands. Ralph watched and waited as the hotel guests got a room for the night and went to the elevator. He worried that the puddles left behind by his snowy boots might dry up before he had a chance to ride through them. Finally, Matt turned out the lights.
At last, I thought they'd never leave.
Ralph threw his leg over the motorcycle, adjusted the rubber band that held his crash helmet in place, and grasped his tail so that it would not become entangled in his spokes. Then, because as everyone knows, a toy motorcycle moves when someone makes a noise like a motorcycle, Ralph took a deep breath and went. Can you guys help me make a noise like a motorcycle? Go. It worked! Ralph shot out from under the clock and zoomed through the puddles. Wings of water fanned out from his wheels. It was a thrilling experience. Okay, get nice and quiet for me. You ready? All of Ralph's little brothers and sisters and cousins popped out of their hiding places to watch. Of course, Ralph had to show off. Unfortunately, they weren't satisfied with just watching.
I want to ride.
Give me a turn. Come on, Ralph. Get off and let us use it.
The daring mice tried to grab at Ralph's motorcycle, but Ralph was quick.
Go away. You're too little.
He rode off, avoiding their clutching paws.
Go away. You're too little.
You'll forget to hang on to your tails and we'll get stuck.
We would not, and you're not that big yourself.
You let us ride. We'll tell your mother on you. She said you were supposed to give us a turn. My mother said you were spoiled and selfish and would turn out to be no good when you grow up.
I am not spoiled. I am not selfish.
Ralph is free.
It
by his behavior. But was he really a bad mouse? He began to think that, yes, he was a rotten rodent himself. He wished he could leave the Mountain View Inn so he'd never have to face his relatives again. But what is a mouse to do in winter when there's snow on the ground and the wind howled? You'll have to read the rest of Ralph S. Mouse to find out. Time to think about Ralph S. Mouse, Mrs. Floramo, cousins, Mr. Nicola, Mrs. Campbell, and Mrs. Wilmot. And the part of Mrs. Bramble was played by Mrs. Sylvia, and Ryan was Mrs. Bartosi. So boys and girls, you can stop now.